the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the Nashville Superspeedway here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing. My name is Roger Muth, up here high above the clouds here in the virtual Turn 3 Racing Network studio tonight, bringing you a very special race. That's right, we've made it all the way to Nashville. That means this is the last chance to make it into the big dance at the Auto Club Speedway next week for Championship Week. One driver knows his fate. There's a handful of others that don't know whether they're in, out, or what they're doing right now. Those drivers are Joe Strano, needs to pick up the win here tonight, along with Sean Single. He needs to win. Zach Mitchell needs to win. Michael Trevarthen still has a chance to point his way in. Richard Murdoch, Chris Hammett, and Jeffrey Souza. Those are the drivers that are going to be trying to get those final 3 spots here tonight. There's one way to guarantee yourself a chance to go racing at Auto Club for a championship. That's win right here at Nashville. Tonight, though, it's time to kick things off here. Let's go down to our Simbox starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at Simbox. You need a button box? Well, Simbox has one for you. Starting lineup looks like this. Starting on the front row, driving the Souza Media number 4, this is Jeffrey Souza. Starting back into P number 2, driving car number 6 here tonight, Chris Hammett still has a chance. He'll have a good starting spot. He'll start second. Driving the number 42 here tonight, Max Terriot, trophy hunting the rest of the season. He'll roll off from P number 3. Starting back into the 4th spot here tonight, the number 43 of Joe Strano. He has a chance by winning here tonight. He'll start 4th. Richard Murdoch, old Mr. Foundation, sitting back there in the 0-1. He'll start 5th, while starting 6th here tonight, the number 62 of Ethan Troutman. James Skelton, he's the only driver that is locked in and knows that he will be going to the final round of the playoffs for a championship. And there he is. He'll roll off 7th. Michael Trevarthen will roll off 8th here tonight, while the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, number 14 of Brian Bianchi, will roll off there. Well, he'll roll from P number 9. Starting 10th here tonight, Shanika Single, and car number 11 will start from the 10th position here, starting from the 11th spot. It's going to be number 54 of Rex Hoyle. And the old golfer's back from the PGA Tour. That's going to be Tim Combs. He'll start into the 12th spot. 13th will go to the hipster, Philly Edwards. The number 73 will roll 13th. 14th will go to Ryan O'Tani in the Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. He'll go car number 98 and 14th. Brandon Feeney at 15th. Jason Wills to the 16th starting spot here tonight, while Josh Buckley is in 17th. Zach Mitchell to the 18th spot here, 19th. Then we'll go to Rob Higgins, fresh off his camping stay at New Hampshire. Kevin O'Brien, Bob Higgins, Tony Strano, along with Bob Higgins sitting into the 21st spot here tonight, and Tony Strano back there rounding out our field. 90 laps onto the big board here tonight as we get ready to go racing here at Nashville. We've been here one time with the trucks. This will put number 2 here on the stop with the trucks as we're green flag racing here tonight. Great start by the inside row there for Souza. He'll come out of turn number 2, and he'll squirt out to the early race lead here tonight. That'll put the side-by-side battle back there for 2nd, 3rd. There's the 4th place truck there of Joe Strano. Strano is right there into the hunt, too. Strano a little sideways that time, trying to 2-step down here. He'll two-step himself back a spot because there goes Richard Murdoch. Lap number 1 going to go in the books here tonight. It'll be the number 4 of Souza picking up the first lap lead. Now Joe Strano has to fight, just try and get back into the top 5 here. That's because that truck to the outside, the number 86 of James Skelton, just kind of picked up that spot on the outside. Maybe Joe Strano heated up those rear tires of that Silverado. That Road Rage Accessories number 43, just a little much here in the early going. One truck going to scrape the outside retaining wall. That is going to be the number 62, the Reedon Chevrolet of Ethan Troutman. So Troutman trading a little paint. That's not going to help him. This track is very aero dependent with these trucks. These trucks are like a brick, and when you put another notch into the brick, it doesn't quite float into the corners the way that it once did. One truck having a little bit of a blink there. I believe that was the number 2. That was going to be Michael Trevarthen. He's to the outside of that Scooby-Doo number 11 of Shanika Single. Single comes into the night. He was 15 points. When I look and do the math, he was actually 5 points exactly below the cut line here tonight. So there's still a chance that the number 11 of Sean Single can point his way in, but he would like to go up there and, well, grab that guitar, special gift here tonight as he parks in victory lane. These battles are raging everywhere. There's the 43. Now Joe Strano's gotten to the outside there of of the 86 there of James Skelton. Saw Michael Trevarthen's number 2 flash into that picture there. I don't know if he scraped the wall a little bit because Joe Strano had to check up. And now Strano is bleeding more positions. He's already back into the 8 spot, dropped 4 spots from where he started here tonight in Nashville. 22 trucks did take the call of the green flag. Nobody having computer issues. Knock on wood, somebody. So right now, as these drivers battle back here, the guy that's in second, he is the only driver in the field here tonight that has ever picked up a win here at the Nashville Superspeedway, and that was Max last season. Max was able to drive that number 42, the Xfinity car, though, to victory lane. So Max and Sean Butler are the only 2 actual drivers that have picked up a win. Sean Butler not here with us tonight. Sean taking, well, enjoying his summer out riding his motorcycle. So Max is carrying the banner for the drivers that have championships and who have picked up wins here. One driver way down onto the apron back there. I want to say that was the number 13 of Joshua Buckley. The old Granny Hips, Walkers, and Canes, number 13. One driver there ahead of him. That's going to be 17 of Combs. There you see him got that Mountain Dew paint scheme on that. I believe that's the Dew USA paint schemes on that number 17 for Combs. And you can tell he's been into the outside wall with that car, or we should say the truck. Talked about Rob Higgins. Well, he was just at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway this past week. He went there. NASCAR came to town. They also had, I believe, the Whalen Tour Modifieds were in town at New Hampshire, and he's a big modified guy. The Asphalt Pounders. Back after a great weekend. I know I'll be having a good weekend myself this coming weekend because we're going to Pocono, race fans. If you're going to be up at the Pocono Raceway, make sure to send us a message on the Turkey Racing Network, and we'll make sure you get some goodies while you're up there. This time by will be 9 laps completed here. They've all been led by that number 4 truck. Souza just out front doing everything he needs to do here tonight. He'll lead another one here tonight. When you go back and look at his season that he's had here, he's had some really good runs. He's had 13 starts so far here through the season. This is race number 14. He picked up a pole. He's had 5 top 5s and 9 top 10s. His average finish this season averages out to one of the best drivers on the circuit. His average finish is 9th this past season. He only led 70 laps this season. And tonight he's already led, well, with another one up. That's 10 more laps to that total that he's led. So give him 80 laps total this season out front of this field. I'm sure he put a lot of practice in this past week with his team. They've been known to put a lot of hours in, burning the midnight oil on the sim rigs. showing right now as he's able to hold off Max Terriot back there, still running in P number 2. One driver that's been trending way into the wrong direction, that green number 62. We told you about the aero dependence of these trucks. They're like bricks, and you put another notch in them, now they don't handle so well. Well, we saw the 62 with Troutman early on here get into the outside retaining wall, and now he has still continued to trend a little bit backwards here tonight. So Troutman back there running now into the 13th position, qualified in 8th position, and now is starting to fall backwards here tonight a little bit. He's got that Do USA, number 17 of Tim Combs, will be the next truck to work upon the back bumper of him. As it looks like Chris Hammett has now worked his way to the back bumper of number 42 of Max Terriot. Right on board here with Chris Hammett. See how many bumps there is. You see that old helmet over to the left-hand side of your screen kind of bouncing off the headrest a little bit. Great camera work here by Uncle, slapping a camera up onto the seat just behind the right side of the helmet of these drivers. See some hand work, how many bumps there are out there. Cameras don't do it justice as the pretty still mode. Right on top of this Gatwell, the Pabst Blue Ribbon, number 73 of Philly Edwards. And Edwards had himself a pretty good starting spot here tonight. He started 13th. He's been into the outside wall with that PBR can, trying to crinkle it up a little bit. Maybe he's trying to recycle and save the planet one by one, drinking those Pabst Blue Ribbons and crushing the cans and putting them into recycling. Maybe he thought his Silverado here tonight was one of those cans. One of those things that is not packed into my cooler there as Joshua Buckley goes around the outside of the PBR entry. No PBR going to Pocono this season. Everybody playing nice. Here's the two entries. 505 Motorsports Stables. That's Rex Hoyle in the Colony Tire and Service Center. And then there's the Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe entry. Oh, Hoyle going to go around. Hoyle for a spin. Wells nowhere to go. And Wells is going to be wrapped up in this one. You see the Alienware number 64 hard impact into the outside retaining wall. That number 64 going for a ride. So that'll be the first caution flag of the evening coming out here on lap number 17 for these truckers. Take a look. So Zach Mitchell go down there. He drives it in a little bit farther than Rex Hoyle was, and nowhere for Wells to go. Two trucks involved, and watching down the back straightaway. Wells just the innocent bystander. Watch the 64. He'll go down here into the corner. Think you're going to be clear, then all of a sudden, you're in it. You're in it with nowhere to go. Leaders are down pit road, though, for the first time here tonight. Lap number 18 under the first caution flag will bring these drivers down to pit road. So it will be 4 tires and fuel, I am sure. Very slow entry into his pit stall there for the number 4 of Souza. But they're getting right side tires on that Ford F-150, and they should be able to come back around to the other side. And it looks like a 2-tire stop for Richard Murdoch. He'll lead the field off of pit road. It'll be Murdoch off of pit road. The 42 of Max Terriot. It was a very slow stop there for the number 4 of Souza. He'll come out there in P number 3, Chris Hammett. James Skelton, Michael Trevarthen, Joe Strano, and Sean Single is how they're all going to come out of pit road. Your top 8. 9th will go to Brian Bianchi, and Zach Mitchell will come out into the 10th position. Everybody going to catch back up to the pace car. While they catch up to the pace car, race fans, are you looking for a sim wrap? Well, the Turn 3 Racing Network's partnered up with A good little group out there, the SimWrapMarket.com. They got wraps for all sorts of vehicles here with the iRacing.com platform, whether you just want something simple or you want something wild and off the wall. The SimWrapMarket.com has you covered. Head on over to SimWrap Market today and look your best next time you hit the raceway. Lights are out on the iRacing.com safety car, your new race leader with a 2-tire stop. That'll be the Adventure in Pixel 01 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch, we talked about him. He comes in. He is the cut line here tonight. He has a 2-point cut line break back to Michael Trevarthen. And as they run right now, your drivers that would be in would be, well, James Skelton is locked in. He knows where he's going next week. Souza would be locked in. Chris Hammett and Richard Murdoch. Trevarthen, Mitchell, Single, and Strano right now on the outside looking in. That could, of course, change in the blink of an eye. We just saw our first caution flag of the evening on the back straightaway, where you saw the number 24 of Zach Mitchell, who, hey, he's had some good news. He just got married, so congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell out there. But right now, the 24 has some work to do. So that last caution involved Zach Mitchell and Jason Wells, along with the number 54 of Rex Hoyle. So a 3-car, a little bit of a scuffle out there, puts us under the first caution, which is coming to a close because we're going back green flag racing here. It'll be 19 laps out of the 90 scheduled that will go into the book this time as we get ready to fire these bad boys off. Green flag back into the air. Let's see how Richard Murdoch and his 2 tires can hang on here on the inside. 42 of Max Terra really trying to drive it down and into the corner there, but the inside lane is the place to be here tonight. Murdoch has it. Now they're pulled even down the back straightaway as we look on board here with our checkered flag auto supply onboard camera with Richard Murdoch. Max Terra knew he couldn't make the pass to the outside, so now he'll hit the brakes, he'll hit the hooks, and get right back at the Caterpillar line, right down around the bottom side. So it'll be Richard Murdoch leading the first lap back to green flag here. Then it'll be Max Terrell, Jeffrey Souza still back there running in to P3. James Skelton picking his way through traffic, gets around the number 2, but here comes that BK Paints entry. Down to the inside, car number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Shanika Single down to the bottom side. Joe Strano, he's still back there. He fell back to that 8th spot under the first green flag run. And that's exactly where that number 43 is running right now on the speedway. He's got the number 24 of Zach Mitchell right behind him. He's got Brian Bianchi, Brandon Feeney. Feeney had started to fall back under that first run. And now the beefy motorsports driver finds himself to the outside of the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. Number 14 of Brian Bianchi down the back straightaway they go. They'll go door to door and down into turn number 3, but the outside lane has not prevailed here tonight just yet. But Brandon Feeney says, hold my liquid Molly. Don't drink it. It's motor oil, race fans. At the line, give it to the number 38 of Brandon Feeney. He was just a nose, the splitter of that Silverado, edging out that Ford F-150 here tonight. Joshua Buckley sitting right there going, Feeney, could you pick a line and make it work? I'd like to come with you. Right on board with check flag auto supply onboard camera with Joshua Buckley. A little tight there for the number 14 of Brian Bianchi. He slid the speedway just a little bit, maybe some slight contact there. As number 38 of Brandon Feeney scoots collared and hollered around the outside of that number 14. Put Brandon Feeney inside the top 10 for the first time here tonight. And inside the top 10, there's a battle. That's the number 6 of Chris Hammett. He is falling back behind now the number 86 of James Skelton. Michael Trevarthen's right there. Sean Single, Joe Strano, Zach Mitchell. So right now, drivers that are in your championship playoffs. One driver into the outside wall. He's in the playoffs. That was the number 24 of Zach Mitchell. Mitchell got up into the outside wall. And that'll hurt the aerodynamics now of that DuPont Chevrolet. If there wasn't already damage on the nose, now there is. You can see the damage as he works down the back straightaway on the right front nose of that DuPont Chevrolet. Bianchi trying to get once again back around the number 38 of Brandon Feeney. Feeney's now caught the number 24. Could he? Oh, I thought Bianchi was going to have a chance there to try and use the number 24 as a pick off turn number 4, but but Brandon Feeney just got down to the inside in time. Here comes Buckley. Here comes Tony Strano. There comes the number 62 of Troutman. Troutman was able to come down pit road under that caution flag. Stayed there for a little bit extra time. Did get that bumper pulled back out front right fender exactly. And now it looks like he's trying to come back through the field here tonight. Still plenty of time. We're not to the halfway point. We're not into the closing stages of this one. Everybody still has a chance here tonight. You never know what's going to happen here when we come to the Nashville Superspeedway. And, well, it's a concrete track. That's right. We don't call concrete track Superspeedways, but this one races like no other that we have been to. And right now, there's another driver that's just hanging on to this pack right here. Here's the Turbo Dork Radical Paints, number 98, Ryan O'Donnell. He's got the Hyperculture paint scheme on that number 98. And boy, I mean, the Turbo Dork colors that Ryan O'Donnell's able to put onto that number 98 are absolutely beautiful. I don't know if they plan on putting a stripe down the right-hand side like Ryan O'Donnell has here tonight, but man, he's always looking like one of the best dressed guys when he comes out here onto the speedway. Ryan O'Donnell right now back into the 14th spot as he just made that pass there. That was only number 3 of Tony Strano, I do believe, that he just got around. Actually, that was the Tim Combs, number 17. So O'Donnell around the number 17 of Tim Combs, who did just snag the outside wall last time out of turn number 4. So turn 4 seemed to be the place that's getting a lot of people, and here is something that's happening towards the front of the field. It's the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza down to the inside. He's trying to take P number 2 back away from Max Terriel, but is he going to be able to? Max got a great run off turn 2. He'll rocket ship back around the outside. So Max Terriel back into P number 2 now. He has got that spot all wrapped up to himself. James Skelton still continuing to be on the move here tonight. There's the number 86, the driver out of South Carolina. The old fisherman coming at it here tonight. South Carolina's own James Skelton. Haven't seen him going out to many rodeos here lately. Maybe getting some bad weather down there in South Carolina where he's not able to get out onto the boat. Tennessee driver, though, back here, number 62 of Troutman, says we don't need a boat. We just got a couple brand new gas stations opened up called Buc-ee's down there in Tennessee. Troutman, of course, trying out the brisket. I heard it's pretty good. I've never been to a Buc-ee's. I heard they're absolutely huge. They might as well be malls of their own. But right now, that 62 is locked in a heated battle with Brandon Feeney. Remember, Feeney was going forward. He was as high up as running into the 9th spot. And now it looks like the 38 is starting to fade here. The Auto Tire and Safety, number 38. Having some difficulties last weekend with his real race car up there in Ontario, Canada. Trying to rebound here tonight, running some sim races, but Joshua Buckley says, yeah, that's great and all, but I'm going to have to take this spot. So Buckley works down to the inside with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Racing School entry. Of course, Checkered Flag Auto Supply actually sponsoring a car at the racing school. It's kind of cool. So if you ever go to the racing school up there at Thompson Speedway, you'd be able to actually see Checkered Flag Auto Supply logo plastered on some of the race cars up there. See Tim Combs, though, trying to get underneath that number 13 now. Ryan O'Donnell going to make real quick work there of Brandon Feeney. Now, things changed at the front. It's still Murdoch, Terriel, and Souza, the Skelton and Hammett are your top 5 drivers. That has not changed here. Watching the best battle that is on the speedway currently, and that's between Buckley and Combs. Buckley working the outside groove here, just cannot quite clear. As now to be Combs taking back the spot. There's the race leaders, though. Murdoch will come across here, and he'll put lap number 34 officially in his pocketbook here tonight. The old foundation. Murdoch, you don't want to look in the back mirror, though, because you have some company, and it's coming in the form of a black Silverado. That's the number 42, and that's Max Terriel. He has now joined the dance. He's ready to party here tonight. going to block the advances that time. No, Murdoch did tell me one time he was the cold trickle of iRacing. He has no idea how to set up a car. He just gets in, puts his headset on, and races. Hey, at least the man's true. He doesn't have time to set up a car. He doesn't have the knowledge of how to set up a car. He just knows you push the gas and you turn left and you go real fast. And, well, James Skelton going to hang a left here, and he's going to go underneath the number 4 of Souza, and that'll be the battle for what was P number 3. As now also for the race lead, Murdoch going to open up the bottom side, and here comes now Max Terriel. Terriel's going to end up trying to take this spot, and he's been good down to the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. That's where the 42 is going to go. The bottom side, 3 and 4. They do have the lap car. That's going to be number 54 of Rex Hoyle. That is down in front of them. Looks like Rex is going to get the race leaders at the bottom side of the speedway here. Of course, Rex Hoyle, one of the classiest gentlemen on the circuit. He's been in sim racing since a lot of these drivers weren't even twinkle in Mommy and Daddy's eye. So now it's Max Terriel, Richard Murdoch, James Skelton, Jeffrey Souza, and Chris Hammett. Michael Trevarthen is right there also. Trying to see if he can come around some of these drivers that are ahead of him in the points championship standings. Remember, Skelton's locked in. Souza, Hammett, Murdoch, Michael Trevarthen, Zach Mitchell, Sean Single, and Joe Strano. All still in the championship hunt here. All trying to move on to the next round, which would put them into the championship round. It's a playoff style here with the Scrambler Series. Max Terriel, though, now trying to run away with this one. See, open about a half-second gap back to Murdoch, and Murdoch's now under fire because here comes the number 86, the Flowertown Animal Hospital, Norfolk Southern. Toyota now, the only Toyota represented truck in the field here tonight. Of James Skelton, trying to come to the top 2. Took all the way to the final race of the regular season for the 86 of James Skelton to pick up a win. And since he won there at Bristol on the dirt, he's won 2 more. He won back at Rockingham, he won at Dover. Now he's marching his way inside the top 3 here, going for second. He'll have it. That'll now put Richard Murdoch into a battle because here comes the number 4 of Souza. Souza was not able to poke the nose underneath him on the exit of turn number 2. He'll fall back in line. It looks like the tires may be going away on truck number 4 of Jeffrey Souza. 1 driver to pit road, 2 drivers to pit road here. It looks like here comes Brandon Feeney. Zach Mitchell also just behind him, and the number 24. Both those drivers are down on pit road here on lap number 42. I don't think you can go that far on fuel here tonight. I do believe all these drivers that are pitting here will have to make at least 1 more pit stop here tonight. Maybe they're going with a two-stop strategy from this point. 48 laps. I'm doing the math, and it's just not quite adding up to me here tonight. Yeah, everybody's going to have to pit at least 1 more time. Drivers are coming down pit road, though. We're seeing Murdoch on the slide trending backwards also as Brandon Feeney comes back out of pit road. He's going to look like a rocket ship. He should be able to come back up here and at least get 1 of his laps back here the old-fashioned way by driving past the race leader. Murdoch to the outside, though, here for the battle for 3rd. Souza has it down low. We're seeing it to be the drag race. Oh, almost coming together on the straightaway here. But it will go to the number 4 of Souza. Another driver to come to pit road. The number 17 of Tim Combs has now brought his 2 USA entry to pit road. There's still your battle. P number 3. Murdoch just not quite able to get the turn off the corner there, but he does actually carry some momentum. Little by little, though, he's starting to fade onto the outside. There you see Brandon Feeney. He's going to go high, wide, and handsome. That old boy went and saw a dirt race a couple of weeks ago, and now he thinks he's Kyle Larson, going way high, wide, and handsome around the outside. Goes Brandon Feeney. I'm sure nobody's ever referred to Brandon Feeney as Kyle Larson, ripping it on the outside. But hey, he made it work. He got right around those drivers. That'll put now the next truck that he sees is the second place truck of James Skelton. Then he'll see the race leader. Here comes Joe Strano. He'll bring the Road Rage Accessories number 43 to pit road. Kevin O'Brien also coming down to pit road. It looks like, nope, Kevin going to keep on ticking. Rob Higgins, Tony Strano, and Rex Hoyle all coming down. So the Busch Light, Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40 on Rob Higgins coming to pit road here. So pit road is picking up. Just like Brandon Feeney, he keeps going up and around these trucks to make their passes. Have to keep a close eye and see when some of our top drivers come out of line. Of course, remember Joe Strano, he's there, you see him. He's coming out of pit road. He was one of the drivers inside the playoff bubble. He was on the outside, actually. At one point, he was in, and then he was out, and right now he is still continuing to be out. He is currently one lap down, running into the 15th position right now. Here comes some of your top drivers. Number 6 of Hammett, number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, Shanika Single, Joshua Buckley, Ryan O'Donnell, Brian Bianchi, Philly Edwards, all coming to pit lane right now. They're trying to see if they can maybe come down pit road, get fresher tires before the race leaders, and maybe pull on them just a little bit. First ones to pit road always has a little bit of a slight advantage. It's either you come early or you come super late. And Max says, I'll come right now. So he'll drag the number 86 of Skelton along with Souza. Murdoch also coming to pit road. Here comes the number 62 of Troutman. Troutman started to close the gap there on that run with the race leaders. Kevin O'Brien will stay out. Will he lead a lap here tonight? He will not get credited with the lap led, but the Aussie will stay out here. Look for him to be one of those drivers that try to stretch it as far as he can. Last time he pitted, it was on lap number 17. So it's been a good stretch here tonight already for Kevin O'Brien. So he'll actually come down the pit road here. Looks like James Skelton, 2 tires stopped for the number 86 of James Skelton. So he'll take 2 tires here. He'll come out as the race leader. Where is that second place machine? Or where is Max Terriel, who was in first? Oh, he's back there. Looks like about a 1.8, 1.9 second gap right now back from James Skelton to Max Terriel. It will be James Skelton that does take back over the race lead. Already halfway home in this one. $50 in, $40 to go. James Skelton, the race leader after green flag pit cycles, back in second is Max Terriel. Chris Hammett is sitting there running in third. Fourth is Shanika Single, but he's got pressure because there's the number 2 of the BK Paints entry of Michael Trevarthen, then Jeffrey Souza. Slow on entry again onto pit road, losing more ground. Back to the 6th spot now for him. Tim Combs, who came a couple laps early, he has worked his way into the top 10. He's now running 7th. Ryan O'Donnell is in 8th. Joe Strano is back there in 9th. Richard Murdoch, who came down pit road. Very slow pit road time, losing 3 seconds under the green flag pit cycle. Murdoch now finds himself running way back into the 10th position. So the strategy is starting to come in here tonight. James Skelton with the 2 tires, and he actually just turned one of his fastest laps of the night. Last time by was his fastest lap. Same with Michael Trevarthen, same with Jeffrey Souza. All 3 of those drivers turning their fastest lap of the race here on lap number 51. As Trevarthen says, "Hey, I just had a fast time. I'm gonna get around you, Mr. Single here." See Sean trying to take a big draft off the Ford, trying to put the Ford power together, see if they go to the front here. See how it plays out for those drivers. I actually see that Michael Trevarthen has put pulled already about 2.5 car lengths, truck lengths over the number 11 of Sean Single. Murdoch getting around a couple of trucks there. Murdoch got around Joe Strano and Ryan O'Donnell. O'Donnell's still hanging in there. O'Donnell having himself a really good run here with that Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98. Over halfway home, so we're on the downward slide of this one, but still a lot of time left for any of these drivers to have some issues. One driver has loaded up here tonight. That was the number 64, Jason Wells. He got blindsided by an accident and unfortunately wasn't in the final 8 drivers, so elected here tonight to just go ahead and load it up. Their comeback. Murdoch is on a tear, though, right now, turning some of the fastest times on the Speedway. The last time by the race leader was a 30.7. Murdoch was a 30.4. So close. They're the 2 fastest drivers currently on the Speedway. Then it's Max Terriot at a 30.44. Chris Hannock with an identical 30.44 last time. We'll see how high Murdoch can climb, as he was one of the last drivers that did come to pit road. Truck number 4 of Souza and the number 11 of Sean Single battling here. 5th and 6th for these 2 drivers right now. Troutman trying to work his way back into the top 10, but has to go past and around. He's able to do that, and he'll clear completely off of turn 4 and have that spot all to himself. Brian Bianchi inserting himself into the battle. Brian Bianchi's sponsor, a long-time sponsor on truck number 14, Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe. I had the pleasure of going up there and eating at the Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe restaurant up there. Or, well, I guess it's a bakery and cafe, not quite a restaurant per se. Family was on the way to Boston, and we decided to stop as we were headed past. We saw the exit, and I said, hey, I know where we're at, and we stopped. Of course, Brian right now trying to scratch off Culpeper's logo on the right-hand side. Normally we save that for Darlington and call it the Darlington Stripe, but Bianchi says, well, what's better than Nashville? Nashville has a lot of character, and so does my truck now. He made the pass to the outside, though. Joe Strano trending backwards, and he is on the verge of getting eliminated at this point because when you look at it, he is the farthest back running driver other than Zach Mitchell. Mitchell's way down into the 19th spot. And then it's Joe Strano. So Mitchell and Strano are on the bottom of the pylon for the 8 drivers. See if he can rub something together here. Joshua Buckley squeaks up those tennis balls, and he'll go around number 43 to the inside here. So Josh Buckley now up 5 spots from where he started. He'll put himself into the 12th spot as Brian Bianchi will get around number 17 of Combs. Combs really having a hard one here tonight. He's been into the outside wall, and I'm told he was just into the outside wall yet again. So he's shedding positions like I shed water on a humid day here in Pennsylvania, and trust me, it was humid today. These 2 are battling it out. They started, well, not anywhere close to each other, but they find themselves here on lap number 62, battling. That's truck number 62 of Ethan Troutman. Troutman having a good season, but not a great season by standards for him. Comes in this season, hasn't picked up a win. He's picked up 3 top 5s and 7 top 10s. So, I mean, it's a good year, but it's not a great year for the 62. We'd like to be in the 8 drivers here that are battling to go to Homestead. Caution coming out. Something happened. Uh-oh, Zach Mitchell parked up against the outside retaining wall. That has championship implication all over it. And I'm being told there may have been a scuffle out there. We'll watch it back here. 24 to the outside, and maybe a tire going down on the 54 there of Hoyle. Mitchell gets parked into the outside wall. There's the 24. Has some issues down into the corner already. There's the 11 of single, and here Mitchell really have to lift down into the corner. So a rough one for Zach Mitchell, as his night is going to get a little bit harder now. A beaten up number 24. You see the sparks off it coming down the straightaway. He'll come to pit road, and everybody is coming to pit road. Actually, there's James Skelton. He'll lead the whole brigade. So 4 tires and fuel, it should be here for all these drivers, and I'm looking at it. It's going to be tied. I believe this will be the last time they're down on pit road. A 2-tire stop for Chris Hammett. Jeffrey Souza and Richard Murdoch all taking 2 tires, and it's the 4-tire brigade of Max Terrill, James Skelton, Michael Trevarth, and Sean Single. Ryan O'Donnell just beat out the number 62 of Troutman, and Brian Bianchi back there is how they will come off of pit road. Rex Hoyle down on pit road with some damage to the number 54. Jason Wells, we talked about him. He is out of the race here. He was involved in that first caution flag of the evening. So it will be Chris Hammett as your race leader. Zach Mitchell having to come to pit road because he has not been to pit road yet with the number 24. He did go a lap down in that exchange, so he'll have some damage and a lot of work to do. So it's 25 to go. Race fans, after this commercial, we'll be right back here to bring you the rest of the race here tonight at Nashville. You see the stars, they're out here tonight. The lights are on here at the Nashville Superspeedway here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series here for Red Light Racing. This time we're working on our second caution flag of the evening. When we do go back racing, it'll be about 23 laps to go. And my calculations are saying we're right on the verge of being able to make it on the fuel mileage here tonight at Nashville. And we'll see if these truckers tonight will be able to make it, because they're lined up 2 by 2, getting ready to go racing here. Once again, it'll be the number 6 of Chris Hammett, and it'll be Souza, Murdoch, all on 2 tires. So we'll see if those 2 tires are able to hold off the rest of the hungry field here tonight. Zach Mitchell's back down on pit road with car number 24. Looks like Philly Edwards also having issues here tonight. He's multiple laps down from the race leaders. or see if he's able to get back out there and get a couple of those laps back. But it'll be the Scots.com Miracle Grow entry of Souza, who will lead us to the green flag. You have to wait for the green flag to come back out here. You can't jump. You can't go beforehand. So we'll see. There goes the iRacing.com safety car. Green flag back into the air. 23 laps to figure out who's going to Auto Club. Great start by both the drivers on the front row. Look at Souza. He's going to drive it off like Superman into the corner. It's not going to stick. He'll wash up the speedway. Hammett will have the race lead down the back straightaway. That'll put them side by side for second. Here comes Murdoch. 3 drivers trying to either win or point themselves in. And there's the 86 of James Skelton. He knows he's in. Chris Hammett leading here tonight at Nashville for the first time under green flag. He's got Murdoch. We've seen Murdoch be very fast here tonight, but still 22 laps to go. You can do a lot of damage to these tires if you're not careful here in the early portion of this run. Couple drivers jockeying back there. That's the 14 of Brian Bianchi. He just got passed up by the number 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. So O'Donnell into the top 10. He's running now 9th. Sean Singles sideways. They're going to stack him up here. Everybody playing bumper tag here at Nashville. Couple fenders jamming it out here, and we're going to stay green because Sean Single was able to hang on to that. But boy, what happened to the number 11 of Sean Single? Take a look. He's to the outside of the number 2, and do they make a little... Right there, they make contact. You saw the 2 start to bobble, and then the 11, and Ryan O'Donnell making a little contact there, and Brian Bianchi nowhere to go. He was kind of in the sandwich. Joshua Buckley making a little contact, so a couple drivers playing pinball out there. That's not going to help Sean Singles' case because now he drops outside the top 10. He's all the way back into the 12th position. And, well, can somebody say jinkies here tonight? New race leader, maybe. Here comes the number 01 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch came in tonight with Chris Hammett above the cut line. Right now they run 1 and 2. 1, 2, and 3 in the points are running 1, 2, and 3, and 4 right now. Actually, when you look at it, because it's Murdoch, Hammett, Skelton, and Souza. Souza's back there running into what is now the 5th spot because here comes Max Terrell, the number 42. Terrell going to take the spot. Can the number 4 of Souza get back down? They won't. They're going to bobble, almost making a little contact that time off turn number 4. Across the line, it's now going to be Chris Hammett back to the point by just a splitter of his Ford F-150. In the top 3 right now, we have a Ford leading the way with a Chevrolet and a Toyota back there into P number 3. So all 3 manufacturers represented here. And with under 20 laps to go at the front of the field here, Chris Hammett will take back the top spot. Murdoch will just fall in line and see if he can ride here. He's got a nice buffer there because he's got the 86 of James Skelton, one of his friends that lives down the road here in South Carolina. I say here in South Carolina like I'm there or something. Not even close to South Carolina. I think it's about, I call it a 10.5-hour drive for me to get from my house here in the northeast of Pennsylvania all the way down to anywhere in South Carolina across the border there. So needless to say, I'm not going to any fishing rodeos with James Skelton. This time by, though, they're knocking another one off the board. Everybody still chasing Chris Hammett and Richard Murdoch. Souza now has fallen back behind the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, and how does that play in the championship standings? Well, Chris Hammett had a 4-point lead over Michael Trevarthen coming in, but if he gets passed up here by that number 2 of Ethan Troutman, they're going to put them just 1 point separating each other. Souza does battle back, though, so he hangs on to the position for the time being. That's P number 4 for the number 4 of Souza. Or, sorry, P6 for the number 4 of Souza. Sometimes I get a little dyslexic in reading those numbers back and forth on the scoring charts here tonight. I know, Mute. All you gotta do is look forward and count how many cars are between. I know, and I can't count. Yankee and Feeney once again doing a little bit of a jig back here. I wonder which one of these drivers have the 2 left feet, though. I'm gonna have to guess it's probably Brandon Feeney. Feeney will make the pass, though, on the number 14. So Feeney moving up 2 spots here, putting himself now into the 13th position. Driver that's picked up the no spots here tonight. We always like to highlight some of these drivers that have really fast trucks. There it is. Tony Strano. It's always his fault, and here tonight he's picked up 11 spots. Still 13 laps to go. He can still improve his spot just a little bit. He's the only driver in double-digit positions moved here tonight, so Tony Strano right now on his way to having the biggest mover of the race. And the mover who likes to move it. I won't sing, trust me. Chris Hammett right now is saying, let's keep this race moving, that's for sure, because he has started to pull away now on Richard Murdoch. Is Murdoch maybe saving his tires a little bit? Remember, those top 2 drivers, they only put 2 on here. And it's going to be James Skelton, Max Terrell, Michael Trevorth, and they all put on 4 tires. Souza's the other driver. There were only 3 of them that came to pit road and put on 2 tires here under the yellow flag. And Souza now is back there running into the 6th spot. Still has himself a little bit of a buffer, so if he loses 1, it won't be the end of the season for that number 4. But you don't want to go much farther. How about Tim Combs? He has had such an up-and-down day here tonight. That number 17 has been into the outside walls about as many times as I found myself golfing and into the bunker. That's right. Youth does go off a little bit and finds himself at the beach quite often. But hey, how about Tim Combs? He's worked his way back into the top 10. Now he's running in 8th. It's actually his highest running spot here tonight. Souza under attack again. Souza's under attack because here comes the 62, that Rheem Chevrolet. And now Troutman's going to take the spot. So with 10 laps to go as the double high fives came out that time at the flag stand. It's now Troutman into P number 6. Souza's back there running into the 7th spot. Joe Strano rebounding very nicely. Remember, at one point he was down to the 16th spot and a lot of damage on his truck. He's now worked himself back into the top 10. He's running 9th with exactly 9 laps to go. 9 laps to go, and it is heating up for that 2nd spot. There you see the 42 of Max Terriot right there. Troutman's there. Then there's the buffer back to, it's Trevorth, and then the buffer to Troutman and Souza. So with 9 laps to go, Chris Hammett finds himself out front. Murdoch's tires are giving up here. James Skelton going to dive underneath the number 01 of Murdoch. So with 8 laps to go, Murdoch now going to look to try and hang on to this one. Does he have anything for Chris Hammett? Hammett's almost got a 2nd lead, but now with Murdoch losing that 2nd spot, that'll put 4 fresh tires behind Chris Hammett with 7 laps to go. Max Terriot's right there too, and he's getting a push from the number 2 of Michael Trevorth and almost upset that number 42 on the front straightaway. They're able to hang on to him. Murdoch does find himself back down onto the bottom side of the speedway, so he'll funnel from 2nd back to 3rd. 9/10 of a second gap for Chris Hammett to play with here as he'll come by to match the number on the side of his truck. We'll see 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go here tonight at Nashville. Skelton that time about 1/100th of a second faster than Chris Hammett, so it doesn't really help him that much. We'll see this time as this will be the first full lap that's up to speed and in cleaner air. That does not have the 0-1 to the outside. It'll be high 5 as the flagmen reach over and wave. He'll show them just 5 laps to go here. Max going to swing it way down to the apron here. Swings it way down to the apron. I don't know if he got into the wall or what, but that truck jerked dead left, and, well, he was hung onto it, and now he's trying to get down around to the inside here at the 0-1 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch doesn't want to give it up with just 5 laps to go, but it looks like that inside lane's going to prevail. Murdoch should just give it up, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to give up the spot. He's going to funnel in line right away. Doesn't want to lose ground with Max Theriault because, well, Michael Barton's back there. Ethan Troutman's back there. Souza is back there. He knows some of the drivers that he is actually battling against to try to get into the final 4 are back there. 4 to go. Chris Hammett still out front here. There's the deficit, almost 7/10 of a second, and closing ever so slowly. Last time by it was 1/10 of a second off, though, for Skelton. 3 to go. 3 to go is going to feel like forever if you're Chris Hammett right now. The points are very close on the cut line right now. Souza had a 6-point lead, and right now he is running back into the 7th spot. Michael Trevarthen has got around him. It's too close to call on the counting of the points right now. This time by, though, wind them up. Give them the old popsicle sticks. It's 2 to go, and oh boy, Skelton, 3/10 of a second that lap faster. Don't look now, Chris Hammett, but James Skelton is coming with 1.5 laps remaining here as they work down the back straightaway. There's your top 3, 4. You can tell that the Chris Hammett entry just can't get back. To the wheels, this time by, it'll be the white flag here in Nashville, presented by Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe. The final trip around the speedway for Chris Hammett. That time it looked like Skelton maybe got a little tight, but he's got the fresher tires. Can he roll it down the back straightaway? He's closing in ever so slowly. Final time into turn number 3. Hammett's going to leave the bottom lane open, try to pack the air onto the nose of that Toyota. Out of turn 4 for the final time to pick up his first win ever. Can he hold it? He will. It'll go to the number 6 of Chris Hammett. He'll punch his ticket into the final 4. It'll be Chris Hammett, James Skelton, Max Theriault, Richard Murdoch in 4th. Ethan Troutman back there in 5th. Michael Trevarthen is 6th. 7th to go to Jeffrey Souza. 8th to Tim Combs. 9th to Joe Strano. And 10th to Rob Higgins. That's your unofficial results here tonight of your top 10 finishing drivers. But right there, the man picking up his first career win. It's always good to get your first one, and what a better time than to lock yourself into the playoffs, the championship round of the playoffs. There it is, your winning moment, brought to us by Scott's and Miracle Grow on the side of that number 6. So as he tries to melt that one down, race fans, we'll take a quick step away here from Nashville as he'll bounce it off the front stretch wall here. Your winner tonight at Nashville, Chris Hammett, picking up his first one.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here to the Nashville Superspeedway race fans, here for the final race in the round of 8. It's the last chance for these drivers to get themselves into the championship Ford race at the Auto Club Speedway on July the 25th, and we can tell you that those 4 drivers... We do this every year, race fans, and you always fall for it. How about we go with the top 3 here tonight to start things off here in our post-race show? Let's start it off here. Max Terriel, another good run for the 42, but that truck looked a little unstable there in the final run. What adjustments did you make to try and get that truck squared away at the end?
Just needed to run harder and ran out of laps. Got stuck behind some trucks that put us back a bit too far to catch the top 2 guys, and yeah, we missed it by a few positions.
There at the end, what did you need? You finally got a clear there. You battled with Souza for a while on the 2 tires. You battled with Murdoch. He had 2 tires, and you were trying to follow James Skelton there to the front. You guys are coming up a couple laps short. Other than maybe just some clean air, is there anything you could have done here tonight?
Yeah, again, tonight, clean air was where you needed to be if you wanted to be fast. On the long run, I saved some tires, so I did not want to see that last caution. And at the end, I need to make the passes maybe faster or quicker against a couple of guys. I was stuck behind guys too wide. That bottlenecked both of us pretty much for the last 10 laps. So yeah, it just the way it unfolded. It wasn't in our advantage, so we'll take it as it is.
Well, a great run for you here, Max. You will finish P number 3 here tonight. Who do you got to thank on the side of the 42?
Yeah, my girlfriend, my friend Max, my dad, Scrambler Series, Josh, James, and Richard, and Turn 3 Network.
There you hear it from the driver that will finish P number 3 here tonight. Led a good portion of this race, but a P3 for Max Terriel. And how about it? The hottest man on the scene seems here lately with Red Light. James, a great run for you, but you're going to come up 1 spot short and about a car length and a half.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I didn't, I guess, since I won last week, I didn't really put any practice in this week, and this is my first time seeing the track right before the race. So I was just trying to get the feel for the truck. It took a little while. I did do a long run with Richard, and I found out 2 tires could work. So I think that would have kind of had me in the catbird seat. If we would have went green all the way to the end, but Chris made an awesome strategy call, put 2 tires on that truck, got a nice lead. I think if I would have had a few more laps, maybe just 1, I think if I could have just got under him, I might have had him, but congrats to him for his first win in the league. It's awesome.
With about 5 laps to go, I looked at the counter. You were sitting at, just 9/10 of a second back, so almost a full second back between you and Chris Hammett when you made the move on Murdoch. Every lap that went by, you were 1/10 of a second faster each lap. That truck was absolutely coming. What did you find here in the late goings that this truck was that much faster?
Oh, I was just burning the tires down. I was driving in the corners just a lot harder than he was. And then, we were pretty even on exit, but I was gaining that 10th on almost every entry on him just because I think he might have been driving just a little conservative just because he had the lead. But I had nothing to lose, so I was burning her down.
Well, hey, you don't have to pay for the tires here, so make sure you always use them. And here, as of late, you've been doing that. You were the first driver to know you're headed to the Auto Club Speedway next week for the championship round. What are we going to do next week when we head to sunny California with the Xfinity machines?
I'm excited about it. I haven't put any time in. I'll definitely I'll make myself find some time throughout the week. Like tonight, I thought the strategy would have been on a mile and a third, mile and a half type track that we'd go green to the end, and on the 2 mile track next week, I kind of think that'll probably be the strategy. So it's just got to make sure I have the long run pace, getting on and off pit road, and see what happens.
Well, there you hear it from James Skelton. Before we let you go, though, James, who's on the side of the truck that's going to park, well, in those final 4 spots next week.
Yeah, I think I had Norfolk Southern on the truck tonight, but I want to thank you, Roger, for everything you do. Once again, congratulations to Chris. I believe Richard made it in, so I know he was sweating a little bit. Congrats to my teammate if he did. Ryan had a really good race. All the drivers, all the fans that were watching, and all our sponsors, couldn't do without him. And thank you.
There you hear it from the 86 of James Skelton. He'll pick up another podium finish here. That team, that crew is very strong here at the end of the season, picking up 3 wins here in what are some of the final rounds. They won at the dirt track at Bristol, they won at Rockingham, and they won at Dover, so they're 3 out of the last 5. Maybe it's a trend you see coming here for next week at Auto Club. But the man who's picked up the big W and his first ever win with Red Light Racing, how about it, Chris Hammond? It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, close. Felt like I phoned a couple away, and just racing against guys like Max and James every week, it's really hard to win. These guys are really good. So to finally pull one off here and to do it the time we did and send us to the championship round, I feel like couldn't have timed it any better.
Well, you needed this one here tonight. Your team did come in. You were actually 4 points to the good over that cut line. That cut line was Richard Murdoch. He came in sitting right there, just 2 points ahead of Michael Trevarthen. So you had a buffer. Did you know exactly in your mind coming into the night where you had to finish if you didn't win this race?
You got to be in the top 5 at a minimum, right? And that's even depending on who wins. Richard was leading there for a while, so I knew if it stayed like that, we'd be knocked down a little further, and, it all comes down to that. But no, we had to run at least in the top 5 tonight. Had a really good run last night in a practice race, tested out 2 tires, and I figured out it would last about 20 laps before it really gave off, and that's about what it lasted tonight. So a 91-lap race, I think Skelton would have got us, but thankfully we only had to run 90, and we pulled it off.
You do pull it out here tonight. Did you see that number 86 coming in the mirror, though? Because it was getting bigger and bigger every lap.
Oh, yeah, I knew once he got by Richard, it was on. I was hoping, if Richard could have done me a favor and held him off 2 more laps, would have been really cool of him. But I knew once he got clear of Richard that he was going to be coming. So I knew I had about 20 laps, and we went to green with about 25 to go. So I knew about 4 to go, he was really going to start making time and just, trying to save the tires earlier in the run. Richard made that kind of hard. We were side by side for a while, trying to save them and make them last as long to that run as we can, just to and then try to build a lead on top of that. So it was a little bit going on up there for me, and I really thought there he was going to get us, but just a car length and a half is all we needed, and I'll take it.
And you took it all the way here to victory lane here tonight, Chris. So with yourself picking up the W, you will also race for a championship next week at the Auto Club Speedway. What are we going to do when we head to sunny California?
Oh, we're going to send it. I don't think it's any secret that Skelton is the favorite, and is by far, and for good reason. He is really, really good and really hard to beat. So I'm walking into next week with nothing to lose and everything to gain, not won a race before tonight. So we're going to walk in there with looking for back-to-back wins. 100% sure that's what it's going to take, barring something crazy happening. So, hey, we're the underdogs. We're happy to be here, and we're going to see what the hell happens.
Well, as you put your pit vipers back on, I'm going to roll this red carpet out for you. Hand you the microphone. First time ever here, Chris. Who made this all possible to get you here tonight to victory lane?
First, I gotta thank my amazing, loving girlfriend, Ashley, who lets me hide back in this room for 2 hours, 2 nights a week. I definitely wouldn't be able to do this without her. Gotta thank Josh and Richard and James. They do an amazing job with this series. There's great racers in this series. I love this setup of the series with the different cars, and it's so much fun to run. This is all I do on iRacing now because it's just better than anything I've ever done on here. Got to thank, my hero, Park Martin, for all my awesome paint schemes I get to run throughout the year. Finally got to put one in victory lane. Everybody at Turn 3 Network and our good buddy Roger for broadcasting these things, and man, it's just great.
There you hear it from your winner tonight. And he will pick up his first ever win and lock himself in for a chance to actually compete for a championship here. So, with that being said, Chris Hammett locks himself in to the championship 4. Who are the other drivers that will, well, make up those 4 spots? Well, James Skelton took one last week at Dover, and now Chris Hammett takes this one. That means there's only 2 other spots available. Those 2 other spots available here tonight, one of them will be taken by the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza. He will lock himself in on points. The other driver that will lock in on points here tonight, having a really good run, had a chance to pick up the W here tonight, will be the 0-1 out of South Carolina. Richard Murdoch will take the final spot in the championship 4. So there it is. It's set. It's ready to go for your race fans. Next week, the Championship 4 here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. The stage is set. It's ready. All we got to do is turn the lights on next Monday night. So for everybody at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Red Light Racing, and of course all the drivers, we hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from the Nashville Superspeedway. My name's Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network, and until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.